Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to this channel. So in the previous video we have discussed about the microbiology of protozoa. Now we are going to start another chapter, and this chapter is about soil microbiology. So in this chapter we are going to see what kind of microorganisms are present inside the soil. So what is the definition of soil microbiology? It is defined as it is the branch of science. So it is branch of science that that deal with study of microorganisms which are present in our soil. We also study their their functions and and how they affect soil properties. Okay, so we are going to study what kind of organisms are present, what is the function of them. We also study that how they are affecting our soil, how they are providing benefits, and how they are providing disadvantages to us. So now let's define the soil. That what is the soil? So the upper layer of your earth crust. So what is the definition of soil? So the upper layer of earth crust in which plants grow is called as soil. So what is the components of your soil? So your soil is composed of a lot of components. Like if we are going to study them, so it is composed of various kind of organic matter. It is composing of various kind of minerals. It has water in it, water molecules. It has various kind of gases, and lastly they have a lot of microorganisms in them. So now in this chapter we will discuss this component of the soil, which is the microorganism. So before discussing the microorganism, let's discuss about their importance. That what is the importance of these soil microorganisms. So here the importance of them is given that they play important role in the seed germination. So indirectly they are encouraging the growth of plant. They are helping in nitrogen fixation and lot of biogeochemical processes. So how they are helping in nitrogen fixation, we will discuss it in this lecture. Now they also help in the decomposition of dead matter, which could be a plant, which could be an animal, and they decompose it in order to get nutrients. Secondly, it also maintains the soil stability, it maintains the pH of your soil, and encourage the soil to grow more and more plants. Secondly, it also degrade various kind of chemicals and pesticides we add to it, and it is the most important source of nutrients for us. Now let's discuss what are the factors which can affect the growth or distribution of these microorganisms. So first of all, the moisture is playing important role, and then the temperature will also affect it. pH also affected. Like fungi grow best in the acidic pH, while the bacteria grow best in neutral pH. So they are helping it. Lastly, the availability of nutrients. So bacteria required other nutrients, fungi required other nutrients. So on the base of their nutrients, they will distribute themselves in various parts or in various soils. So there are actually two types of soils. Okay, so firstly there is the organic soil. Secondly, it is the inorganic, or can also be called as mineral soil. So your organic soil is composed of organic matter. Now let's discuss about the classification of soil microorganisms. So your soil microorganisms are first of all the bacteria. B for bacteria. It composed of fungi. It composed of algae. and it composed of a lot of actinomycetes. So actinomycetes are actually a type of bacteria. Okay, so these are some microorganisms which are present in the soil. First of all, let's discuss about the bacteria. So bacteria are the smallest organism. They are the prokaryotic. They don't have definite nucleus in them. They are most abundant, means among all of these microorganisms, bacteria is the most abundant microorganism which is present in the soil. And lastly, the bacteria which are helping in the development of soil, they are mostly autotrophic bacteria, mean that they can prepare their own food with the help of photosynthesis, and these bacteria play important role in various kind of biochemical processes. Like, let's discuss the examples of them. Like Pseudomonas, this is a genus of bacteria which is helping to metabolize various kind of chemicals which is present in your pesticides or fertilizers. Now second example is the Nitrobacter. This is also a genus of bacteria. It is helping in the nitrogen fixation or nitrogen cycle. So it is helping in nitrogen fixation. Other is this third example is the species of various kind of cyanobacteria. They are also helping in the nitrogen fixation. Now let's discuss about the biochemical processes in which bacteria is going to help. So the first cycle is the nitrogen fixation or nitrogen cycle. Second is the carbon cycle. Third is the sulfur cycle. And fourth cycle is the phosphorus cycle. Now we will discuss these four cycles with the help of diagram. So now we are going to start our nitrogen cycle. So as all of you know that nitrogen is one of the main nutrients which is best for the soil and which is best for the development of plants. Now this is your soil and this is your plant. But now in 80% of your nitrogen is present in the form of nitrogen gas, but your plant cannot use this nitrogen gas, so it has to convert this nitrogen into various compounds, and then the plant can use that. So there is a nitrogen cycle and nitrogen fixation process by which we will use this atmospheric nitrogen, we will convert it into the nitrogen containing compounds, and after that our plant will use it, and this nitrogen will help in order to make various kind of proteins and help in the growth of that plant. So now what is going to be happen? So this nitrogen is taken up by various bacteria which is present in our soil. So what kind of bacteria are present in your soil? So first of all, Azotobacter bacteria is present in your soil, and it is playing important role in converting your atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, NH3. And secondly, other bacteria is cyanobacteria. It is also converting atmospheric nitrogen into your ammonia. So the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into the ammonia, this process is called as ammonification, and various bacteria are involved in them. Now after the synthesis of this ammonia, now what is going to be happen? Second step is the nitrification. So this ammonia will convert it into NO2 negative 1. So this is called as nitrite. So how it is converted into nitrite? Various kind of nitrating bacteria will act on it and convert ammonia into the nitrite. So conversion of ammonia into the nitrite is called as nitrification. Now this can convert into nitrate into NO3 negative 1. So this is nitrate. So the ammonia is converted into nitrite by a bacteria which is nitrosomonas. By a bacteria which is what? Nitrosomonas. And the bacteria which convert nitrite into the nitrate, this bacteria is called as nitrococcus. Okay, now this nitrate will used by the plant in order to grow and develop. Now let's consider then this plant will be eaten up by the animals, and so in that way the nitrogen enter also into the animals. Now let's consider your plant and your animal is died. Now their decaying matter will be like that. So this is the decaying matter of animal and the plant, which is decayed by various kind of microbes and various kind of bacteria. Now this decaying matter will also contain various kind of uh, nitrogenous compounds. So this decaying matter will also convert it into ammonia. Okay, now and next thing is that various kind of animal release their excretory waste material, like this is the excretory waste material of that animal. So this excreted waste material like urine is containing the urea in them. So as all of you know that urea also contain nitrogen in them. Now this excretory product contain urea. Now various kind of bacteria are present which are urea digesting bacteria, which are present in our soil. So these bacteria are doing what? They are converting this urea into NH4 positive, and after converting this urea into NH4 negative, then they convert this ammonium ion directly into nitrite. And after the conversion in nitrite, then again nitrosomonas will act and convert into nitrate, and nitrate again eaten up by plant, and plant will be eaten up by animals. So this cycle will again completed and repeat it out. Now there are some kind of denitrifying bacteria which are doing what? That they act on this nitrate and convert it into again into atmospheric nitrogen. So what happened there? There is occurring denitrification, and it is occurred due to denitrifying bacteria. And how they convert it? Actually they convert or reduce your nitrate into N2O, nitrite oxide, into nitrous oxide, and then this nitrous oxide will convert into N2. Okay, so this was all about the nitrogen cycle. Now let's discuss about the carbon cycle. So now we are going to discuss the second cycle, which is the carbon cycle. So in the carbon cycle, we are using the carbon dioxide or carbon. So you all of know that carbon is one of the most and major nutrient for your plants, because your carbon is making your DNA, your carbon is making your RNA. So but in our soil, your carbon is only of 0.032 percentage. Okay, so your carbon in the soil is very in short amount. So how the plant get carbon? So actually the carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere as a source of carbon. So plant will take this carbon dioxide, and they also take sunlight. After taking both of them, they will perform photosynthesis, and after the photosynthesis they will release oxygen, and they will provide they make carbon containing sugars in them. What are the carbon containing sugars? They are glucose, fructose. So these sugars, and when these plants are eaten up by animals, so these carbon containing sugars will enter into the animals. Now all of you know that when the plant respires, so this is the photosynthesis. When the plant respire, they will release carbon dioxide. When the animal respire, they will release carbon dioxide. Now let's consider this plant and animal die. So after die, they will decompose by various kind of bacteria, and after decomposition, after very long time of decomposites, they will sediment as a rock, and after a formation of rock, they will form fossil fuels after millions and millions of years. And after these fossil fuels, we will burn these fossil fuels in our industries. In our industry we will burn these fossil fuels, and as a result of burning, industries release smoke, and this smoke contains carbon dioxide. So this was the cycle of carbon cycle, by which we will use carbon from our carbon dioxide, which is a gas, and how this is how the carbon circulates in the whole living body, in animal, in plants, and as well as everything. But fossil fuel is the major source of carbon, because plant and animals, both of them contain carbons, and then both of them decompose to give our fossil fuels, and then fossil fuel is the major source of carbon and major source of energy. So this was all about the carbon cycle. Now let's discuss about our last second last cycle, which is the sulfur cycle. So now we are going to discuss about the sulfur cycle. So the major source of sulfur dioxide, which is a gas present in your atmosphere. So your fossil fuel burns and they will release sulfur dioxide. And also in volcanic eruption, so you release two types of gases which contain sulfur. First is the sulfur dioxide, and second is hydrogen sulfide. So these two gases release into the atmosphere and making sulfur dioxide and hydrogen sulfide as. Now what will happen with this sulfur dioxide? Actually, in your marine water or in your ocean, the algae is present. So the marine algae, so this is your marine algae, it is releasing what? It is releasing a chemical which is called as dimethyl sulfate. So this dimethyl sulfate react with the oxygen and it will produce sulfur dioxide. Now your this sulfur dioxide will react again with the oxygen to produce sulfur trioxide. Now your this sulfur trioxide react with the two compounds. So this sulfur trioxide react with two compounds. The first compound is the water. So by reacting it with the water, it will produce sulfuric acid H2SO4. Secondly, it will react with the ammonia NH3 and it will produce sulfate salts. Sulfate salts. Now, due to production of these, what will happen? There is the acidic rain. So the cloud gathers and there will be the rain, and in this rain, the sulfuric acid and the sulfate salt will release. Now, after this raining, this sulfate salt will go to the soil. So now this sulfate salts is provided to your plants, is provided. Now plant will absorb this salts, this sulfate salt, and after absorbing this, the plant will encourage its growth, and after that the plant is eaten by the animals. So it means these sulfate salt will enter into the animal body. Then all of them, that the plant and the animal die and they will decomposed. Okay, so all of them will be die and they will be decomposed by various kind of bacteria, and there are various kind of bacteria which are helping and converting again into the S2O. So there are two types of bacteria here. First is the aerobic and second is anaerobic. So the aerobic bacteria are responsible for the conversion of sulfate. So these salts are in the form of SO4. So now this aerobic bacteria will convert SO4 into your SO2 gas, and your anaerobic bacteria convert SO4 into H2S, ठीक है, hydrogen sulfide. So these are two gases. They will again release back into the atmosphere and the cycles continues. So this was about the sulfur cycle. Now let's discuss about the phosphate cycle. So now we are going to discuss about the phosphorus cycle. So here are the plants. So first of all, these plants are eaten up by the animals. So your animal waste is decomposed by the bacteria, and also when these plants and animal die, they will also decompose by bacteria. And after the decomposition, with the help of bacteria, they will release phosphate. So this is the organic phosphate. Now this organic phosphate will again taken up by the plants, and again this cycle will occur. So this was all about the phosphate cycle. We have discussed four biogeochemical cycles. So these cycles are playing important role in returning back the nutrients in your ecosystem or in your environment. So I hope that you will understand this lecture. If you find this video helpful, then please like this channel, subscribe to this channel, and also press the like button in order to get notification of all the videos which I uploaded. So thank you so much for viewing this video. Meet you soon in the next lecture. Till up, Allah Hafiz.